guys, but we got the 31 seconds that destroyed Paddy Pimblett's career. Now, guys, man, I know you guys have been telling me, oh yeah, the UFC isn't the WWE. Stop acting like the UFC is the WWE. But guys, let's not act like we can't implement WWE things to the UFC. Now, Paddy Pimblett, I think he's better off as a heel. The only people that should be cheering for Paddy Pimblett is the Australian fans or wherever, Ireland fans, wherever the hell he's from. Those are the fans that should be cheering for him. Any fans outside should boo him, and he should embrace the heel. I don't understand why these guys like to be beloved so much. Sometimes the boo should be cheers, guys. If I was in the UFC, I would be the top heel. Boo me. Boo me as I beat him up. Boo me as I demolish this dude in front of you guys. And this is what I don't understand about Paddy Pimblett. You gotta take that role and be a heel. Guys, tell me in the comments what you think about that.
1 seconds of talking revealed he was actually super unlikely.
I didn't like to see him beat Tony Ferguson, I will say. That hurt me.
While the comments became so brutal, he couldn't even handle it.
I can't say anything without people jumping on it. The nasty comments get to you. I don't sign into my social media anymore.
Everyone quickly decided...
Guys, I get nasty comments every day, man. I'm talking about every day. I don't understand how the nasty comments can get to these people. I just don't get it.
The next big thing, which is all people could talk about during his rise to fame. This article, for example, wrote, Paddy Pimblett is the next big thing and has the potential to be as big as Conor McGregor, and it's not difficult
which is still
to see
true.
How the media drew this conclusion. Paddy had a similar kind of confidence.
This is my destiny. I've got the personality, I've got the look, the new kings.
Yeah. And this is, I don't want to keep pausing, but when fighters say they have the personality, I think that's a bad move to say. Don't even let the aura speak for itself, you know?
With comments describing him as a likable mix of humility and arrogance. This was put on full display when he'd make a YouTube channel, gaining hundreds of thousands of views by vlogging, although it was on the topic of food that he garnered the most attention. Paddy's fighting weight was
which was a problem right there too.
Yet in between matches, he'd ballooned to over 200.
So you're 200 right now. What do you get to when you fight?
I weigh in at 155.
No way.
The most I've weighed is like 211.
Earning the nickname,
which is an absolute problem.
Named Paddy the Fatty instead of Paddy the Baddie. Hilarious how every UFC fighter has a unique personality. Paddy being an undercover fat guy is the funniest.
Do you ever miss the six-pack when you blow up between fights?
I'd rather be fat and happy than ripped, and like these people who are ripped all year round aren't happy. I'm not arsed.
Photos such as this one therefore went extremely
no, that's not real.
Used to his advantage to attract even more attention. All of his most popular content was on gaining or losing weight, which was funny because he'd always end up making weight. Not to mention he was also...
Which is absolutely crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie. For you to gain that much weight and then to lose it, there's a science behind that. Let's not act like there's not a science behind it. What are you doing to lose all that weight within such a short time? Like... that's absolutely crazy.
Winning his fights easily. Paddy won his first 3 UFC matches, 2 of which during the first round, with an impressive total career record of 19 wins and only 3 losses. This added to the hype around Paddy becoming champion, although no one seemed to realize he hadn't even fought anyone ranked in the top 15. Paddy Pimblett is a lot of marketing and little skill for MMA. Paddy himself was still an unranked fighter, yet millions believed he'd be the next UFC champ purely because he'd made a couple of funny videos. Well, Paddy was given the chance to prove himself when scheduled a fight against Jared Gordon, and having
that's a tough son of a bitch.
Barstool Sports deal.
Barstool Sports, man, best company in the world.
It seemed Paddy's public image was better than ever before. However, just 2 days prior to he and Jared's fight, Paddy began to make some critical errors.
And that was the... I'm telling you, we're not gonna keep pausing. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna talk about it when we get to it.
Arrogance was becoming overbearing.
I just create better content than all of you. It's mad. People say, oh, he's getting pushed. It's not. My numbers are just better than yours.
This manifested a call out of journalist Ariel Helwani.
I hate all these journalists, like Ariel Helwani in particular.
Going on a 4-minute rant about him being a terrible person.
He's a maggot. He's a lizard.
Paddy's rant seemed kind of fun and edgy until Ariel responded, destroying Paddy in return.
Everything that was said was a lie. lie. It's lie after lie after lie after lie.
Paddy made the claim that Ariel was fired from every job he had.
Every decent job he's had, he's been sacked from.
Yet Ariel explained that he hadn't been fired from any.
Got sacked from every decent job that I have. Let's talk about the jobs that I've had.
Even displaying a tweet by his former boss who wrote, "We had hoped to have Ariel continue in that role and made him an offer to remain with ESPN." Next, Paddy tried to insult Ariel by saying he wasn't a journalist.
You're a content creator, Ariel. You're not a journalist. Stop lying.
To which Ariel calmly responded,
This use of the term content creator, is this supposed to be an insult? I've been trying to create content since 2006. If you're going to try to insult me by calling me a content creator, great. That's the worst thing you could say about me? Awesome. Yes, I'm a content creator and pretty damn proud of it.
But Paddy's worst attempt at insult was saying Ariel should pay for his interviews.
He uses fighters for clicks, uses fighters to make money. Get your dough out, Ariel. Start paying people for these interviews, what you make thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on.
Ariel responded by stating,
Does Joe Rogan pay his guests? Did Oprah pay her guests? Did Larry King pay his guests? That's not how this works. Journalists make money. Yeah, we make money. Of course. Isn't that the whole point?
spending 1 hour and 15 minutes total dismantling all
Damn.
of Paddy's.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Even though MMA Guru gets on Ariel Helwani, he's number one for a reason. No matter what you can say about Ariel Helwani, the only person that can mess himself up is Ariel Helwani. Literally, no matter what you could do, what you could say, this dude will remain at the top of the UFC journalist, media, whatever you want to call it, atmosphere, and well deserved. And for him to go and get on you like that, whew.
Arguments.
Woo.
Ariel came with all the evidence like a lawyer.
You don't want that
Outstanding
problem.
Performance.
You don't want that
This
problem.
is how you absolutely obliterate someone. No smack talk, just facts. Ariel's video gained 29,000 likes and only 900 dislikes, while
Surprisingly, 900 dislikes.
Paddy's initial call-out received a much less favorable ratio,
Yeah.
as well as comments such as, "Lost all respect for Paddy, throwing Ariel under the bus just to get brownie points from Dana."
That was the problem, man. Dana, you should have just stick to being a fighter. Being under Dana's wing like that,
Paddy
woo!
crying that Ariel makes money off fighters while sitting across
Dana's
from Dana
on
was
him.
the most
Of
hilarious
course.
thing. Who would have thought Paddy's biggest knockout loss would come at the hands of Ariel Helwani, weakening Paddy's image
Everybody's
before his
saying
biggest fight
Paddy
so
and Dana,
far.
linking
Paddy
them together
waltzed into
now.
the match as confident as ever, with the audience expecting he'd beat Jared Gordon easily, although this isn't what would happen.
And
Paddy
the
spent
crowds were still cheering for
the
Paddy.
entire fight eating punch after punch from Jared, and by the end it seemed obvious that Jared Gordon had won. Out of 24 scores by the media, 23 called Jared the winner, and in a Twitter poll asking the public who'd won, 80% believed it was Jared. However, by some miracle, the judges ruled in Paddy's favor, completely surprising
Telling you, a
everybody.
lot of people lost money that night.
Huge L for our judges on that one. How? Why the judges did my guy J Flash Gordon MMA like that?
Everyone in our building was like, damn, Paddy lost.
The entire world was quickly turning on Paddy, which he could have turned around with a humble post-fight interview, although over the course of only
That's
31
what messed him
seconds,
up.
Paddy instead did the
The
opposite.
post-fight interview, that's where everything changed. That 31 seconds, this is when the 31 seconds happened.
Joe began
It wasn't
interview by
Ariel.
stating,
It wasn't
"I'm here
Dana,
with
it
the
was
winner,
this."
Paddy the Baddy. Paddy, that was a close one," to which Paddy responded with, "No, it wasn't. That wasn't close. You just controlled me in the third. But you know what, Joe? Have you consulted me manager and seen how much you're paying me for this interview?" To which Paddy was met with silence. Joe then continued, "You don't think it was a close fight at all?" To which Paddy responded, "No, not at all. I won the first 2 rounds and then coasted in the third. I knew I was 2 rounds up, so I didn't want to do nothing dangerous and risk losing the fight. I knew for a fact I'd won the first 2 rounds pretty easily, and demanding fight of the night as he walked off the stage definitely didn't help anything. I can't believe Paddy wanted fight of the night. He already got gift of the night. What an arrogant guy to say it wasn't close after he just got gifted the decision. This was honestly in the top 5 worst robberies I've seen, and his arrogant attitude after it is just making him look like a pleb." Paddy then went into a press conference where his arrogance became even worse.
Everyone's got an opinion, lad. The opinions are arseholes. You know what I mean? Everyone's got one. I know I won that fight, simple as. I deal in facts, lad, and everyone talks about me, lad. That's how they stay relevant. people mention me.
And despite Jared Gordon himself tweeting, "I was robbed and everyone knows it," Paddy still went into more interviews refusing to show humility.
The other person won. You don't see that at all from any others.
No.
The other problem was that
No.
people had realized Paddy
Hell
wasn't
nah.
as skilled as they thought.
I'm taking it to the bank.
After that fight, okay, Paddy's not as good as we thought he was.
Now sure, he could easily knock me out in under 3 seconds, but talks of him being champion were still a couple of years too early. Paddy looked like a journeyman. He's clearly not ready for the top 15. I could care less if I ever see him in a fight again, and apparently neither did the rest of Paddy's fans, as he began to lose thousands of followers per month. Additionally, people uploaded videos such as Paddy the Baddie getting rocked by unranked fighters,
Wow.
and Paddy Pimblett all losses in MMA, conveniently just days after Paddy ruined his image. Paddy then began to realize he'd made a massive mistake.
The amount of times I've been told I lost that fight. The last year has been quite hard, to be honest, lad. The amount of people that have just been giving me hell on socials and online and stuff like that, know what I mean? I was the low-hanging fruit that it was easy to jump on the hate bandwagon at the time, so everyone did it.
And all of a sudden, this statement
I'm always gonna have this media and this big bubble around me whenever I turn up to fight.
was looking a lot less like.
The media controls a lot. The media controls the narrative, man. You don't want to be on the media's bad side. You got to be a
He
real
believed
lovable
his
guy
next
for
fight
that.
would fix all his problems.
When I beat Tony Ferguson, lad, everyone will jump back on the bandwagon.
Although this didn't really
Ah,
happen.
he
You
said
see,
that?
Paddy was scheduled to fight Tony Ferguson, who'd lost all 6 of his previous matches. Paddy therefore recognized that there wasn't much glory in beating him,
When I win, people are gonna be like, oh, he was on a 6-fight losing streak anyway, he's finished anyway.
although ending the fight with a win was definitely better than losing. This time, Paddy gave a much more humble post-fight interview,
He's one of the toughest men out there. Hats off to him, he's an absolute legend.
leading to comments such as "officially off the Paddy hate train." Couldn't help to notice how determined he was, and humility goes a long way. Now welcome to the UFC, Paddy. He'd therefore gained back 300,000 followers, although it didn't restart the hype train like Paddy might have wanted. Others have suggested it feels like the spark has completely left him, although at the age of 29 he still has plenty of time to prove himself, albeit now with a much more grounded perspective.
Probably never answer questions again in a post-fight interview about my actual fight until I've watched it back. In my own head, I'd done well in that fight, and then I watched it back and it's a completely different fight to what I had in my head.
Yeah. Definitely went back and retract on what he said on that. I'll tell you that. But guys, like the video, subscribe. I ain't got to tell you to. You already should know too, man. How about?